show you how I stitch my applique shapes on to get nice neat edges with tiny stitches. The needle and thread you use can have quite an impact. So you could use 50 weight thread such as Orifol. This is also an Orifol, but it's an 80 weight, so it's a much finer thread. And then this is the wonderful thread, which is also a really good brand, and this particular one is Deco Bob, which is also an 80 weight. So these two are cotton and this one's a poly, and you can use either one of them, but these two, the 80 weights, had such a fine thread, it really makes a difference at disappearing around the edges and making the stitches more invisible. When it comes to the needle, there's all different kinds of needles you can use, applique needles, quilting needles, milliner's needles, but I would just say if you're using something that you have in your stash, find one that is as skinny as possible and as sharp as possible. The size of the eye can depend on what you can manage, and like any quilting tips, I always say try all of them and see what works for you. But a sharp needle is really important. So what you do is you hide your thread under the shape, and I've come up on this side, you can see over here where I've come up, and then I just make a little double stitch, and that's hidden under the fold so you won't be able to see it afterwards. And then I'm going to just come up through the top of the fabric shape, and then your next stitch starts going through the bottom, the background fabric, and you want it to be right next to where you came up, and then you go over about 1/8 of an inch through the background fabric and then just through the fold. You just need a couple of threads, not a lot, and you just bring it up. So essentially you're just making tiny little lines along the edge of the fold like that. So down again, up, down again. This is the wonderful Deco Bob thread that I'm using. It's really invisible, and if you can't see the thread when you're working, I just pull mine down like that so that I can see the little line of where the thread is, and that shows me where my needle needs to go back in again. And there you have it. And you can see how you end up with these beautiful shapes that are slightly poofy as they stand out from the background, but that the stitches are not super visible. And that's it.